Yes, we're all here. Good morning and welcome back to Thinking Out Loud at WUML. Lowell. I'm Raving David Tierney, the mouth of the Merrimack, the leatherneck with the leather lungs, the man whose last name sounds like taxation without representation. That's right, Tierney! We have some special guests with us this morning. The first guest will be on Billy Cabrera. Good morning and welcome, Billy. Thanks for coming in.
Morning, Dave. Thank you for having me.
And today we're going to be talking about, Billy specifically wants to be telling us about what's going on down at the Resource and Reclamation Center. It's located at 151 Andover Street. It's a block down from Nesmith and just before High Street, right next to the BP gas station. Ironically, it used to be a Lowell police substation, but no longer. Now it is the Reclamation Center. And what are we doing now? Billy, you got to get right up close to the microphone like this. So we're not able to hear you, man.
Testing 1, 2. You can hear me, Dave?
Oh yeah, I can hear you fine. Right across the table from me. I'm
Awesome.
worried about the people out in radio land hearing.
Awesome. Thank you for having me, Dave. I'm excited to be here. I'm humbled to even ask to come down. I haven't been on the radio for quite some time.
We need to get you on here more regularly. You got a lot to say, man. There's a lot going on down there at the
There's
Reclamation
definitely
Center.
a lot going on down at Billy's Barbershop, Resource Reclamation Center. And
we have some programming that will be coming up this fall that will be kicking off. And one of them would be the fatherhood program, which we ran the first course of that late last summer. It was very successful. It's an 8-week program. So tell us more about it, would you?
It's the Fatherhood Project, and what's taking place at the Resource Center is dads in recovery, dads that are reintegrating into their children's lives. And what we did was I was able and got the opportunity to partner up with MGH, Massachusetts General Hospital, and they had an 8-week curriculum, and we had a conversation, and what we did was that we started setting up the program at Billy's Barbershop Resource Reclamation Center. It's an 8-week session. We started our first round in the beginning of the summer, which we completed. We graduated 9 guys. Our attendance rate was 100%, and after the 8 week, all the guys were left with, what are we going to do next? Mm-hmm. So we had more conversation, and shortly after the 8-week session, we started a support group for dads in recovery. September 5th, we're going to be starting our second round of dads in recovery, dads that are reintegrating into their children's lives.
Let me ask you a question. What is the background of some of these dads that they need to have to go through this program? What are they going to learn? Well, what's with their background that they've been away from their family for what reasons?
Most of the dads that the criteria is, 1, they need to be in recovery, and 2, along the way they might have had some struggles and they might have been absent from their children's lives. A lot of the individuals that participants that come down to the Resource Reclamation Center are individuals that at one point or another might have been incarcerated. So when we enter in the community, what happens is that they start, finding their way and navigating through our community. And one of the hurdles that I've seen is integrating back into their children's lives, because our kids, change on a daily basis. And during the course of incarceration, there's abstinence.
So some of those kids might have a little bit of resentment to their dad having been away. Where you been all this time? I've been here on my own.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, we begin our 8-week session, with a legacy, bridging the past, the present, and the future. We begin by establishing a group norm and giving a brief overview of the program. In this session, we explore the dad's belief system about manhood, fatherhood, and legacy. Through the use of video clips and activity, we focus specifically on how men's own relationship or lack of with their biological fathers, both positive and negative aspects, can impact their own fathering style and the legacy they want to leave for their own children.
Now, some of these guys, when you come out of incarceration, you're dumped on the street, basically car fare to get back to your home of record. That's about it, right? But you also have tremendous amount of financial obligations from like taxes, child support, other kind of things like that there. How are the guys going to adjust to that? What are you offering in fatherhood program to help them with that?
Well, the barbershop is very unique, and that's why I believe in, the concept of having the Resource Reclamation Center there, because I work with people from all different walks of life, even those that might have not been affected by the disease of addiction. And what happens is, with individuals that are reintegrating into our community, there are a lot of hurdles in life. But first things first, they come over to the barbershop. While they're there, we have conversation, and we start, navigating with these individuals within the community by providing a mentorship program. We have a mentorship program at the Resource Reclamation Center, and we assist each participant in gathering all the information and the needs of each individual.
Now you have some very well-trained specialists there too, Shannon and Susan, in addition to yourself, and you have other members of the staff too. You even have a special person there who deals with veterans. He's himself a veteran, right?
Correct. We have Susan Pollock, that she's a licensed clinician. We also have Shannon Barrett, that's also a licensed clinician, that help individuals map out
the steps they need to get back on their feet.
Yes.
Now, on the financial side, in addition to working with Massachusetts General Hospital and Dr. Levy and Yard Battle M, and by the way, who is the author of a wonderful paperback book, it's a textbook for the program called The Modern Dad's Dilemma. And anyone can get this. It's an excellent piece. But you're also working with the Department of Revenue, are you not?
Yes. Right now, we actually have a close relationship with the Department of Revenue, and individuals that are on child support and they might have fell short due to their incarceration. We try to assist them and get them back on track on their child support. So through the Fatherhood Project, we assess individuals' needs, and most of the guys after incarceration have obligations with their children. So what we do is we have a clinician that enables them to reach out to the Department of Revenue, and we start their process to get them back on track.
So you're able to modify some of the orders that are coming down on them, because the poor guy gets out and he's got all these obligations, and if he doesn't meet them, he's thrown back in again many times. It's like a revolving door. It's a no-win situation. But what you're offering them with the Reclamation Center and the Fatherhood Program is a chance for hope.
Yes, it's a discouraging situation. These guys are coming out after spending, multiple years incarceration. They're not able to get a bank account. They're not able to get their license. And, if they're reintegrating into our community, these are the necessities that are needed in order to navigate within our community. So we try to get them back on track, and it could be discouraging. And I find that a lot of guys, they don't have the support or a navigator or a mentorship program to assist them to achieve, success. And that's what the Reclamation Center is designed for, is to see everybody and to inflict hope on these individuals that are reintegrating into our community.
That's wonderful. Now, there are some, this is a certificate program, I should mention, isn't it?
Absolutely.
They must complete the entire 8-week session. The meetings are an hour and a half?
We're starting on September 5th. Our first session is going to begin at 5 o'clock in the afternoon. And the first session consists of giving a brief description of our program. It's an 8-week session. Upon completion of the program, they do get a certificate. And we encourage those fathers that are participating in our Fatherhood Project to participate in other workshops that we have going on in the Reclamation Center, such as money management, housing, and other materials and other services that we are providing at the Resource Reclamation Center. That's where Shannon and Susan come into place, where they start, assessing each participant by creating a map on their journey.
Mm-hmm. Now, one of the other requirements is they must be sober for a period of time. Is it, 6 months sober before they can get into the program?
Most of all the individuals and participants that are in the Fatherhood Project, they've been in they've been in sobriety for quite some time. The requirement we like to see within 90 to 6 months to participate. But if there are those individuals that just getting back on track, we offer them other services at the Resource Reclamation Center leading up to the Fatherhood Project. We'd like to see them get stable before they participate, because dealing with our kids, and we're going to be talking about hot topics within the session, and we want to make sure that they're emotionally stable to obtain the information that we're going to be given and the tools that are necessary.
By having that certificate of having participated in the Fatherhood program, now when they go someplace and they know that they have been through the program, this helps them along the way, because it's a sign of good intention to the bank or the registry of motor vehicles, wherever they're going, to do whatever they have to do to get back on their feet. So all these things help them out, is that correct?
Absolutely. The certificates enables them, and it's just, it's, most of the guys, they always ask about the certificate, and along the way, during the 8-week session, it doesn't even matter at that point, because they see how crucial and how essential it is to be a part of their children's lives. But the certificate does enable them to show an effort that they participate in and want something more for their children.
So the moment they come out of the institution, their first stop is the barbershop. Get them cleaned up, get them a haircut, get them looking good, give them a bag of essential needs, toothbrush, some socks, some clean underwear, shirts, clothes, whatever it is they need. They need transportation to a meeting. We can provide that once in a while when we have it available. When we do that, we're happy to do that.
Yes, we've been working with the Middlesex County Sheriff Department now for quite some time, and we've been communicating, and the case managers over at the Rick House of Correction, they refer individuals upon release to come down to the barbershop, and for the most part, they come down, they get a haircut, they're feeling us out, and as soon as they're there, they start feeling welcome, because it's a welcoming environment. It is a place where we don't judge where you come from, where you are, and what you're trying to do. We're just trying to inflict hope and give them a place that they know that they can always come to.
Yeah, we have a lot of graduates that are really a testimony in themselves.
Oh, amazing. I've been working with individuals for multiple years, and just seeing, their progress and seeing them, achieve, stability in their own lives and their children's lives has been just amazing.
Now, I'm dealing with the gentleman down in, we give a shout out to David Jackson down in Shirley. He's out there, he's listening, he's a faithful listener. He has a friend of his, Stevie, who's coming back here to Lowell in a little while, and we've already got brochures in his hand. He's going to make his first stop at 151 Andover Street. That's Billy's Barbershop, the Resource and Reclamation Center. We have Billy right here in person with us right now, talking about all the wonderful work he does down there. It's amazing, Billy. A very, very unique concept. This is all on your own. You started out when you were working at another shop. I remember seeing it in the film Beyond the Wall. You just had a drawer of brochures, but it's expanded far beyond that.
Oh, it's been an amazing journey. I began this quite some time ago, and like you said, Dave, I was working out of another shop, and I found myself, passing out literature and brochures to those that are continuously struggling. Those are my people, my brothers and my sisters, and they've supported me by coming to the shop, and then along the way they've asked, Billy, how you get to where you've gotten. And I need to share that. I need to let them know there's resources out there, and I found myself becoming a navigator, becoming a mentor for a lot of individuals. And when I got the opportunity to open up my shop, I had a small little room in the back room, and it was amazing, because I went from a little box to a major room, and just recently I gained a little bit more space, and now we have the mentorship program. And it's been an amazing journey. I love doing what I do. I love cutting hair, and all at the same time, I've become a good listener. I have people from all different walks of life. I have teachers. I have firefighters, local officers that come and support the barbershop. It's a place of hope. It's welcome. And I got mothers that come in with their children. Just yesterday, I was at Shed Pop providing free haircuts for the kids going back to school. And that was an amazing event yesterday. I can't even speak enough about that. Just seeing the kids coming down, getting their hair cut, and feeling good about themselves, that's what makes me feel good. And if I can continue to do that and be support to my community, that's what I want to do. That's what my team does. That's what we're about. That's what we do at Billy's Barbershop and at the Resource Reclamation Center. We try to inflict hope.
That's awesome, Billy. The motto down there is we get by giving. So we're developing a network among all the clients in the barbershop who come to the barbershop. They become part of the extended team, part of the network. And you need that network to help support you. You're never without someone that can help you out.
Yeah, Billy's Barbershop and the Resource Reclamation Center is a family. It's family operated. I have my son that works at the barbershop, and that's been a blessing in itself. Just recently, my daughter Angelina Cabrera just graduated from the Lowell Tech, and she graduated with her license in cosmetology, and now she's transitioning into barbering, and now I have her working at the shop. I have my son and my daughter working at the shop, and they love doing what we do. They like also to provide, informative information and how to network and how to navigate through our community.
Mm-hmm. Now you have 5 chairs in the shop now, right?
I do. I have 5 chairs. I have Willie, that's my son. He's on the first chair. I have Addicts, an individual that I went to visit at the Shirley Max when he was incarcerated. Talented individual. I feel so. I needed to go. It is a childhood friend of mine that, we ran the streets together. I went to visit him. I told him, upon your release, I gave him an opportunity. All I told him was to show up to life. And he did. His first day out, he came to the barbershop, haven't left since. It's been 3 years in the making. He's been an amazing individual. I have also Jason. Jason is a veteran, reintegrating from overseas that came down, that went to school for barbering, became a licensed barber, and now he's working with us. So a lot of my barbers are also mentors as well. Individuals that along the way found it necessary to turn their life around and be a productive member in our community, and been fueled by what takes place at the Reclamation Center to give back, and they also enable me to do what I do, and that's the only reason. It's a great team that's in place.
Mm-hmm. Jason is a Sergeant E5, served in the Army, did tours in Afghanistan and Iraq. He was a scout patrol leader. He's quite an awesome individual, as all the other individuals, all very unique too in what they have to offer the clientele coming in. And we also have a little relaxation program going on down there once in a while, don't we?
Yeah, we do. We have complimentary chair massage by you, Dave, an amazing man. I can't even speak enough about that and the reviews that we receive each and every time you come down and provide these services to anyone that walks in.
By the way, there is a website for the Reclamation Center. It's called thereclamationcenter.com. And there is also an email, if you'd like to email us, thereclamationcenter@gmail.com. The phone number there that's unique to the Reclamation Center has its own phone line, so it doesn't interfere with regular business. You just want to call the Reclamation Center directly, call 978-455-8795. Did I get that number right?
You did that.
Good.
And they can also follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and on Twitter. We have an administrative team that takes care of that. Please follow us.
I think it's appropriate too that while we're telling everybody the wonderful things we're doing down the barbershop, we are a 501c3, a nonprofit organization, and we gladly accept donations. Help pay our expenses, the paper, the envelopes, the inks, the different little things that we need to keep everything going. So if you'd like to make a donation, you can make a donation to the Reclamation Center. We will gladly receive it, and we'll give you a receipt for your tax purposes later on.
Yeah, this we got the winter season that's upon us. We try to work with transitions too. We work with the homeless, um, those that are homeless out there, and we try to provide care packages. We're trying to create a coat drive for individuals that come in need of a coat. We have them there, socks, toiletries. We have care packages down there, so we can definitely use some help in that area.
Sure. So if you have some men's clothing that you're no longer needing, particularly winter jackets, there's a big need for that. Jackets, hats, gloves. We'll keep it down at the reclamation center and we'll distribute it to those who are in need. And there are a lot of people in need, and that's what we're there to do. Now, what else? Let's get back to a little bit to the fatherhood program. Tell us a little bit more about that. You got 9 graduates from the very first class. They were all very attentive, and it was interesting. I sat in that class myself, and you could see the interest and the enthusiasm and the feelings that come out. A lot of guys open up. There are a lot of tears shed on that program too. I'm telling you, you get right down to the nitty gritty about it all.
Absolutely. Our first session was amazing. I can't even speak enough about it. We began our session, and there were some resistance. A lot of individuals and participants. It's hard to open up. It's a touchy subject. There's a lot of shame and guilt associated with fathering, especially when we might have been absent from our children's lives. We don't want to expose what took place or what's taken place. And I found that with time, we started opening up, and during that process, we experienced a whole lot of emotion. And I feel as though, the more we expose, the more we share, the more we free ourselves from the shame and guilt that, that associated with addiction and fathering. So it was a roller coaster ride, but a rewarding one at that. We had an individual that wasn't able to, didn't see his son for about 18 years.
Talking about Steve?
Steve.
I'm glad you brought that up. Go ahead. Tell us about Steve.
Yeah,
tell us his story.
An individual that participant Steve came down, haven't really spoken with his son in 18 years, and through sharing and exposing what was taking place, we encouraged, and they had a conversation over the phone. His son lived, I believe, in Texas.
Yeah.
And they had a moment and an opportunity, and he flew down. His son flew down to meet his dad for the very first time, and that was an amazing.
And that meeting was captured on film. Someone got a film of it. You could see the father and the son coming together in the airport. It was
very touching.
It was
very touching. Not to mention his son was an amazing young man and open-minded to a lot of things that took place. And they're in that process now. They're meeting, they're talking regularly, and Stephen can actually participate a little bit more in his life.
That's great. Billy, thank you very much for coming in, and don't be a stranger here. You always have a lot to say.
Thank you for having me, Dave.
And it's always good news. Okay, thank you. Have a great day. That's Billy Cabrera, Billy's Barbershop, the Resource and Reclamation Center, 151 Andover Street in Lowell. Come down and say hello.
Try to survive, living life, getting by.
City of mills, brick buildings and cobblestones, walking the streets of a place I call home. Along the Merrimack River, wind making me shiver, sending a chill up my spine, but I feel fine. All in the same boat, sisters and brothers, future generations setting sail from overseas. Destination Lowell, the city of dreams.